All right, this is just a quick video on the 4 types of committees that exist between the 2 houses of Congress. I don't want to have it be kind of squeezed into the oversight video to make that too long, so this will just be a separate video, but it is an important component. As far as what the committees do, there are a lot of different committees. Education committee, defense committees in both the House and the Senate, finance, judicial, ethics. Yeah, I know, but it's there. But in terms of their compositions, like there are 4 types of committees. And the most common one we're going to start with is what's called a standing committee. Doesn't mean they're not allowed to sit down. What a standing committee is a committee that exists in every time. It exists in the House and the Senate. It's a permanent committee is what it is. They are, regardless of what year it is and regardless of whatever, the Senate and the House both have existing standing committees that when the House changes its population, when new people are voted in, new members are put on those committees, but those committees always exist. Again, education, defense, judicial, those are standing committees. They're permanent committees, and they always have work to do, and there's always stuff for them to do. The next kind of committee is called the Select Committee. And a Select Committee is actually a committee that is not permanent. It is not always there. It is created, generally speaking, by either the Speaker of the House or the Senate Majority Leader, depending on which house it's in. And they create a committee, staff it, give it a task, investigate X, Y, or Z. And when they've done their job, the committee dissolves. It ceases to exist. So an example would be like the most common, the one I usually use as an example is the Senate put together what's called the Benghazi Committee when there was the events in Benghazi when Hillary Clinton was Secretary of State. They put together a committee to kind of investigate what went on. It was a special committee. It existed just for that. There's probably select committee, some sort of select committee on for COVID-19, the coronavirus, although there are probably standing committees that are doing a lot with that too. Those that oversee health and human services or anything like that probably are doing a lot of work. Anyway, that's a select committee. It's created, staffed, they do a job. When the job's done, they go bye-bye, or at least the committee does. The members don't. Then there's what's called a joint committee. A joint committee is a standing committee that consists of both House and Senate members. So some from the House, some from the Senate. Okay, so the joint committees exist to exhibit oversight when the House and the Senate want to work together, or when they're trying to create a bill that they know has to pass through both houses, and they're kind of working on some of the details before even ever voting on a bill, or so on and so forth. So it's just a standing committee that exists with both House and Senate members together. And the last kind is called a conference committee. A conference committee is a select committee that consists of House and Senate members. So House or Senate, House or Senate, House and Senate, House and Senate. And conference committees exist. They're select committees. They're created to do one job. And that job is to deal with a specific bill. If the House passes a bill and the Senate passes the same bill but slightly different, they've amended it or whatever, and the bills don't match up, the conference committee's job is to get together and iron out differences. Almost lost it again. Okay, that's all they do. They iron out the differences between the House and the Senate bills. And then so there's one bill that both the House and Senate can vote on, and so on and so forth. So I just wanted to have those 4 things, just know standing, select, joint, and conference and what they do. I'll also do a separate video on legislative oversight, but also another committee video. But for now, just this.